Fit and 10 Nation, it is day 16 of the Fit and 10 Challenge, and I just sent you guys your numbers. So if you check your email, you should have your numbers. And listen, some of you, your protein has gone up a little bit more than others, and some of you may believe that I swapped numbers, which I did not. Okay, so just FYI, I did not swap your numbers, and there's no mistake, all right? If you're still unsure, you can always send me an email, but okay, just a heads up. Some of you may think I have swapped your carbs and your protein. I did not, okay? That's only gonna apply to maybe 6 or 7 of you, all right? So the rest of you, if it doesn't look that way, don't worry about it, okay? Because you just had different changes. So listen, I don't want to forget this. So food of the day. This is the food of the day. And it's coconut manna, all right? So this is pureed coconut, and I love this. This is a great fat source, even though it is saturated fat. It is an MCT, so it's a medium chain triglyceride, which basically means it basically digests much faster. But this does have various, even though it's a saturated fat, it does have a lot of great antiseptic, antibacterial type properties, so it's very good for your immune system. And this actually is like a treat. So if you guys are familiar with shortbread, which I'm sure a lot of you are, if not all of you, okay, well, aside from the coconut oil that sits at the top of this, when you get into the rest of the stuff beneath the oil, it tastes like shortbread, like legitimately tastes like shortbread. So this is really good. The only downfall with it is you only get like a little bit. A little bit gives you a lot of fat, so you can't have too much of it. But really, really good tasting. If you guys want to add this in as a fat source, I'm totally fine with it. Even though people beat up saturated fat, and yes, saturated fat is not essential in your diet, but you know, you can't have just pure. Well, I suppose you could have just pure essential fats in your diet, but with the amount of fat that you're having, you need some base caloric fats, and it's okay to get some from saturated fat. Okay. All right. Something else I want to talk about, because people are getting sick, and yours truly has not gotten sick this year, but I've had everyone around me that's been sick, and I get sick every year except this year. I've been really keen on keeping this in my diet. I've talked about it before, not with you guys, but on social media. And this is glutamine. It's powder form. You can get it in capsule, but buy it in powder because it's way cheaper. And this is, I think this has been, there's a few things, but I think this has been the number one thing that has kept my immune system so healthy and you know, potentially fighting off invaders. I use a lot of it. I use 30 grams a day. I recommend that you use maybe 10 to 20 grams per day. It's just a white powder. It has a bit of a sweet taste to it. This is, by the way, the most abundant amino acid muscle in tissue. It also helps with natural growth hormone release in the body. Now, nothing substantial, but it still makes somewhat of a difference. It does help with your recovery as well, your muscular recovery, okay? And this is relatively cheap. I sell this for, this is 500 grams. I sell this for, how much do I sell this for? I think $35 or $40. I think $35. So 500 grams. So if you're taking 10 grams, this lasts you like 2 months. Okay, or almost 2 months. Definitely worth adding in your arsenal. Okay? All right, more questions here. I'm going to touch upon this person's question again, and I'll talk more about it daily. There's just so much I can say about this. When they were asking me about, I read the question yesterday, but it had to do with the body sending hunger signals. Listen, there's ways you can affect your hunger signals, right? Like, so for example, we talked about yesterday with if you've got lower body fat levels, in general, your body's going to send you more hunger signals. And if you've got more body fat, then your body's going to send you less hunger signals, generally speaking. And that's just that's just survival of the body, of course. But some other things that are going to reduce hunger signals are like protein. All right, so this is one reason why I want you to have as much protein as you do in your diet, is because it reduces your hunger signals, which is part of the reason why it gives you that feeling of satiety. Right? You feel really, really satiated when you have high protein in your diet. The other thing that will help you too in terms of hunger signals is water. So if you add more water into your diet, it's going to make you feel fuller. And why is that? Well, because water activates the stretch receptors in your stomach, and those tell you not to eat. Yes, it's true. You have stretch receptors, and those will send you signals so your body does not eat. Okay? So those are two things I wanted to mention about that. And I don't remember if I touched upon this yesterday or not, but this person asked me what kind of macros is my body using for fuel when I'm in this hunger state. You know, it's using glucose and some fat, which I will talk more about that, because you did ask me another question about where is the body pulling energy from. The short answer to that is glucose primarily, but of course it is pulling from fat stores as well, okay? And protein stores too. So I know it doesn't answer your question, but I'll talk more about it in a future video. All right? Because I want to answer some other questions, but I'm not going to forget this topic because it's very, very important. Somebody had asked me, this is what I want to talk about how does the cardio apply with the classes. Okay, here's how the cardio applies for classes. If you are doing only classes, all right, and you want to cover your cardio that's in the program, then my suggestion is that you do 3 boot camps per week, okay? Minimum of 3 boot camps per week. If you can do a 4th, but 3 should suffice, because you're going to get about 20 to 25 minutes of hard cardio, okay? In that, you're going to get a good 20 minutes of hard cardio in each of the boot camp classes. So that will suffice. Okay? And if you want to wear a heart rate monitor during that, do it. And just check your heart rate as well. Okay? But your heart rate on average will be much harder. The boot camp cardiovascular portions are going to be harder than what I give you in this program. All right? So 3 boot camps per week, and then if you're doing that, then I want you to do at least 2 lift camps. If you do 3 boot camps, 2 lift camps, you cover all your bases. Okay? So I hope that answers your question. Let me know if it doesn't. All right, 7 minutes in. Did I talk about everything I wanted to today? I think so. Message of the day, you can't find time. You can't find time. So listen, you must make time for what matters, okay? So listen, you can't find time, you must make time for what matters in your life. You've got to prioritize, and you've got to be efficient at getting stuff done. And that's one thing that I am working towards, is just being more efficient. Because sometimes, you know, there are certain things, like seriously, that you could really, if you put your head down and you just like don't think about it too much, you can get it done in 15 minutes. Or you can really drag it out and you can make it an hour and 15 minutes. So it's just about being more efficient and just getting it done. All right. So you can't make time. You can't find time. You've got to make time. Okay, for the things that matter. All right. So you guys plan and prepare. You got to plan and prepare for this. Remember, you can't fly by the seat of your pants. You've got to plan and prepare. You've got to submit to this program, and of course commit, right? Submit and commit. Do everything that you can to fulfill the pillars of the cardio, the training, and of course the biggest one and probably the hardest one for you, the diet, right? Okay, you guys, your numbers should be in your mailbox by now, so let me know if you haven't received them, okay? It is just after 4 o'clock here on Sunday, if you care to know. All right, so we will talk to you all soon. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all tomorrow night at 7 p.m., right? 7 p.m. we have a training class. We're going to be doing some upper body in that, okay? So come on out and partake. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., yours truly will be there along with the magnificent Megan, our instructor Megan, okay? See you guys.